talk about the process of digestion of carbohydrate or how carbohydrate get digested in our body, because whatever the food we take, it may be rice, dosa, chapati, paratha, vegetable, anything, it consisting of large quantity of carbohydrate. So 80% of diet that we take made up of a carbohydrate. That's why we'll see how this carbohydrate get digested in our body. And the digestion of any food starts with the mouth, because we ingest the food into the oral cavity or the buccal cavity. That's why digestion also starts with the oral cavity or the buccal cavity or mouth. So if you talk about the digestion of carbohydrate in mouth, it starts with the enzyme known as salivary amylase. You know that saliva is produced into the buccal cavity or the oral cavity, and this saliva consisting of enzyme known as salivary amylase. Amylase means a carbohydrate splitting enzyme. So this salivary amylase acted upon by the complex carbohydrate like polysaccharide like starch, and it converted into disaccharide like maltose. Later, from the oral cavity, food enters pharynx, and through the esophagus it enters stomach. But in the stomach, because of the acidic condition of the stomach, the digestion of the carbohydrate is paused. So there is no digestion of carbohydrate in the stomach region. Later, after 4 to 5 years, food remains in the stomach. After that, it enters the small intestine, specifically duodenum part of the small intestine, where it gets mixed with the pancreatic juice, bile juice, and the intestinal juice, during which digestion of carbohydrate takes place. So in the small intestine, the starch, if there is any starch in the food, then starch is acted upon by the pancreatic amylase, that is amylase enzyme of the pancreatic juice, and it converted into disaccharides. So in the mouth, starch is converted into maltose by salivary amylase. Similarly, in the intestine, starch is acted upon by pancreatic amylase and it converted into disaccharide like maltose, lactose or sucrose. Later, the enzymes of the succus entericus or intestinal juice like maltase, lactase, sucrase, which are the disaccharide acts on the maltose, lactose and the sucrose and convert them into simpler form. Like maltose acted upon by maltase and convert them into glucose and glucose. Lactose acted upon by lactase and convert them into glucose and galactose. Sucrose acted upon by sucrase and convert them into glucose and fructose. So finally, complex polysaccharide is converted into simpler monosaccharide, and these monosaccharides are the simpler form of the carbohydrate which are soluble in nature. Later, these soluble carbohydrates are absorbed in the other part, that the jejunum and the ileum part of the small intestine. So that is how digestion of carbohydrate takes place in our body.